Bell, and I'm doing The Image of the Tank in the Great War, 1914 to 1918.
So, the warm wind blows gently, Jack Duck from Aberdeen to the Battle of the Somme, 1896 to 1960.
My name is Hugh Rollins, and my IRP is Khrushchev, Brezhnev, and the People's Republic of China, and the effects of the Soviet split on policy towards Africa.
Johnny Watts, the effect of the Soviet Union's collapse.
Jenny Hall, wards were their trenches, responses to medical women in the first.
Kate Orthiani, Queen of Camelot. Could Jacqueline Kennedy have engaged in substantive fear as First Lady of the United States?
Priest, the Emancipation Proclamation in context.
Research the Coppard and the Ambiguous Policy, a comparative study of the approaches of the Carter and Reagan governments to the Israeli settlements in the West.
Jacob Schindler, why did Britain refuse to make a military commitment in Vietnam during the period from Howard Wilson's election to the departure of Johnson from office?
Eleanor Stiles, we did not call it love, intimacy and homosexuality in the trenches of the First World War.
Social relationships and never married women in the 17th century, evidence from Wales.
I'm Kyle Cameron Symes, and my IRP is called Pride, Prejudice and Politics, Motoring in England, 1896 to 19...
Hi, I'm James Rednall, my dissertation is called Loyalty, Liberation, Locals and Legacy. So how young American servicemen's expectations of warfare challenged by their experiences at Station 174, Sudbury.
Dissertation title was, did mass conscription create a rising crime within the British Army during the First World War? And my name is Jack Jarrett.
Henry Cage. With regards to the political situation, the public's opinion and the soldiers' reflections, why has the Korean War been forgotten from modern American memory?
I'm Patrick Price, and it's my IRP, Robert Monroe, and the Mackay's, Mercenaries, Foreign Intervention, and the 30 Years' War.
Daniel Knight, my dissertation title is British Colonial America, Independent or Dependent, a look into the relationship between colony and mother.
I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, and it's Fairies, Folklore and Longevity.
My name's Amy, and my dissertation title is John F. Kennedy and Britain, a special relationship during the Berlin crisis.
From Vile to Victim, an emotional study of abandoned, neglected children in 18th and 19th century England.
Say your name.
Chloe Edmund.
A New Model Army, a comparative study into the New Model Army during the English Civil War.
Hi, I'm Hannah Speakman, and my title is How Far Did Changing Understandings of Gender and the Body Shape Attitudes to Perpetrators and Victims of Rape in the 18th Century?
I'm Joy Milne, and my dissertation is The Cultural Life and Afterlife of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I did my dissertation on the British cinematography industry during the First World War, 1914 to 1918. And my name is Stephen Duff.
I'm Joshua Palmer. The title of my IRP was What Responsibility Did Gentile Poles Have for the Destruction of Poland's Jewish Population in German-occupied Poland during the Second World War?
I regard my dissertation is The New Culture Movement, China's Break with Confucian.
Beth Dominue, Al Capone, Public Enemy Number 1, a study of the relationship between organised crime, state corruption and public perceptions in Chicago during the Prohibition.
Kay Hoffman, Shame of Pauperism. Did the poor laws of the 16th and 17th centuries have an adverse effect on society's attitudes towards masculinity, focusing on the poor man of Colchester, Essex, between 1500 and 1820.
Kibbles. My title is The Great Famine, 1845 to 47, the British Government's Response.
My name is Michael Chamberlain, and my title is Pursuing Britain's Interest in the Special Relationship. How did Britain see its role in the Cuban Missile Crisis?
My name is Tyler, and my dissertation is Dear Friends, Quaker Women's Meetings in late 18th century North East Essex, Possibilities and Limits.
Elliot Green, The Emergence of Australian Nationalism in the First World War, a comparative assessment.
Zen Javid, to what extent was Gorbachev's new thinking responsible for the collapse of the Soviet Union?
My name is Lily Blasser, and my title is Oromia versus Ethiopia, a cultural genocide.
Crimes recorded during the court such as the Old Bailey, Sophie Law.
Legitimate pregnancies in children among the better sort of women in early modern England. Law.
I'm Honey, Storage about the Enemy, an examination of German and British propaganda during the course of the Second World War.
Mrs. Potter, how did the implementation of the Civilian Conservation Corps affect the lives of African Americans during the New Deal?
Shane Malloy, Britain American the Falklands Crisis, the struggle for influence in London and Washington.
Vitska, can Catherine be forgiven, remembering the crime through its symbol?
Jack Harris, and my title was To What Extent Did Detente Contribute to the Stability of the Soviet Union?
I'm Sam Goodman, and this is We're Not in Kansas Anymore, Culture Shock in the Vietnam War.
I'm Adam Clow. This is my dissertation on to what extent do newspaper articles influence public perception of outsiders.
Hi, my title is Analyze the Strategies that were adopted by peasants to ensure their survival during the famine in China between 1958 and 1962.
Say your name.
And my name is Felipe Amaral.
Hi, I'm Claire, and my dissertation is How were the police represented throughout the 1984-1985 migration?
I'm Kay Palmer, and my title is The Response of the Anglo Jewry to the Refugees, 1938 to 1942, Could they have done more?
I am Liz Shields, and the title of my IRP is An Exploration of the National and Regional Factors for the Labour Party's Victory in the 1945 General Election.
Matthew Audley, The Church on Black Church, Soldiers at War, From Ancient Warriors to Modern Day Veterans, a study of combat.
An interpretation of the factors influencing the beginnings of British rearmament between the years 1931 to 1935. By Alexander Ellis.
Abigail Moore, what was the role of Jewish resistance in Anglo-American writing between 1950 and 2000?
Harriet Jones, Sexual Identities in the Harlem Renaissance.
Todd Goodyear, and the title of my RP is Holocaust Representation, Approaches and Responses.
Emil Sherritt, Photography in Vietnam, Representations of the...
William Trinder. The change of attitude in Britain over military action against China from the First Anglo-Chinese War to the Second.
My name is Camilla Jarvis, and my dissertation is a study of the rise of the Quaker movement in the rural village of Earlscone, North Essex, with particular focus on Quaker midwives and contemporary developments in the field of midwifery through the 17th century, as a case study of Anne Burton, Quaker midwife of Earlscone, 1616 to 1681.